Hello everyone and welcome to DoubleG's Garage. This is going to be a little bit of a different video because of your feedback. I've gotten some feedback, some comments to the videos that I've posted so far, and to be honest, you deserve better. So I want to give a little shout out to Kevin M for giving me a comment, and basically what he said was true. He goes, hey, VWs are good, your videos are bad. And I'm like, okay, well, there you go. Sometimes you forget that it's not just my small group of friends watching these videos. There's actually some subscribers and some guys that are giving me some support out there. And hey, you deserve better videos. So I'm gonna try moving forward to do some better videos. Let's just face it, I'm never gonna be a Cletus McFarland. I'm not gonna have a huge YouTube channel or anything like that. If I had any goals or ambitions, I'll give some shout out to 5150MX, you know, those types of videos where, you know, he's out there in the woods pulling a bug out and having a good time, and that's really all we're trying to do here. So what I thought I'd do to start this video out is just kind of give you some background. What is DoubleG's Garage? Where'd we come from? What's my background? What are we doing around here? So to make it simple, and again, like I said earlier, I'll never be a Cletus McFarland. I'm not a professional video producer. I don't have any aspirations to do that. I'm just an old guy having some fun with YouTube, having some fun with Volkswagens, hanging out with some friends, and hopefully building this community that loves the hobby. So that's what we're here for. But to start with, let's give my background. Why is it called DoubleG's Garage? What is DoubleG's Garage? So my first name's Gerald. My last name starts with a G also, so I've kind of inherited this. I get called, hey, Double G, hey, GG, those kind of things all the time. And so I just thought it'd be fun to put that as the title for the garage, DoubleG's Garage. It's my first initial, last initial. Nothing special there. Some might have a question, is this a professional shop? Well, no, it's a hobby shop behind my house. And basically what it is a 24 by 24 metal building that I constructed a couple of years ago. And it's just kind of a hobby thing that I do, and we'll be touching a little bit of everything, mainly VWs. So VWs are what I love, and it's what my hobby is, but occasionally you might see some motorcycle stuff in here. Occasionally you might see some tool reviews in here. Occasionally you might see something completely different. I'm wanting to do a review on my Intex above ground swimming pool that I've had for 3 years now, and kind of give a long-term review on that. Toolboxes, we might do that. The garage itself is 2 years old, and I'm still doing some work. You can see behind me I'm putting tongue and groove pine on the walls. So things like that you'll probably see in the video channel as we go along. What's my background? That's a good place to start. So I've been into VWs for almost 50 years, and you know, how do I count that? Well, I learned how to drive in my grandfather's 69 Beetle when I was 10 years old, and I'm pushing 60 now. So yeah, 50 years I've kind of been into Volkswagens. I've always liked them. I've owned dozens and dozens of them, starting with the first car I ever learned how to drive on. But I really started getting into restoring VWs sometime around the late 80s. I was in the military. I was an Army Staff Sergeant, and I had a VW in high school that I had done some minor customization to, but I'd always wanted to do some restoration to a car in general, but basically VWs. So what I did is in the late 80s, I ended up picking up a 1965 sunroof Beetle. And it was actually, I was stationed in Augusta, Georgia at Fort Gordon, and it was a farm car, is the best way to describe it. It was off the road. Some farmer was using it to drive around his land. It was still 6 volts, still 40 horse. And you can see my video that's posted on my channel that says, you know, first restoration. That was basically my first restoration that I did. I bought that car for, if I remember correctly, for like $1,600, maybe $1,800, somewhere in that price range. It was 40 horse, 6-volt running and driving car, and I drove it around that way for a while. Originally white, and what I did is I started restoring it. So my first paint job, I ordered, if I remember correctly, I ordered the engine, 1776 engine from California, and installed it in it. I ordered the interior from a company called SoFine, which is still in business. Did a custom interior, did my first headliner. I painted it inside and out, put some wheels on it, put suspension in it, transmission in it, all that. So that was pretty much my first car. Won dozens and dozens of trophies with it at the car shows. And that kind of leapfrogged into several more cars. At one point in time in the late 80s, early 90s, I owned probably what most of you would love to have today, is just several really collectible Volkswagen Beetles. Everything from, I had a 1951, December 15th, European 1951 split window. I had the 65 sunroof car. I had a 64 sedan. I've had a 64 deluxe sunroof microbus, a Carmen gear that we're going to talk about here in just a second, a 67 original 45,000 mile Beetle that I bought in the 90s. Anything all the way up to, gosh, 71 bus. I've had even like mid 70s Sunbug. So I've had a little bit of everything. And, you know, like most of the VW collectors, I'm into the pre-67s. We all know how hard that's getting to get your hands on. So anyway, that's kind of my Volkswagen story. Like I said, I was in the Army, started restoring cars, Volkswagens in the late 80s. In the 90s, or actually in the late 80s when I got out of the military, I was working as an automotive technician in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, and I worked for about 15 years as a dealer technician. So I worked at a couple of Volkswagen, Audi dealerships. I worked at a Chrysler Jeep dealership. I've been an ASE certified master technician since about 1992. So during that time frame, I've helped a lot of individuals restore their Volkswagens. I've restored a lot of Volkswagens. After I started getting on up in age there, I was still pretty young, but dealership work is hard. It's flat rate, and I decided, well, what else can I do for a career? So pretty much my first career was the Army. My second career was working in the dealership. My third career is I got into technical training sometime around 2000. And I went to work. I was actually the first instructor hired at a school that's close by called NASCAR Technical Institute. And I spent a number of years there, trained thousands of automotive technicians, Ford certified automotive trainer. Went to Iraq a few years later and trained soldiers for Navistar Defense on the MRAPs. So got some diesel background there, of course. Like I said, in the military, did a lot of different things. Eventually, what I do now is my training background kind of it kind of moved on from technical into operations, sales, management, that type of training. So I don't do any technical training anymore. I don't work on vehicles professionally anymore. It's become a hobby again, which is a lot more fun than working on vehicles professionally. But I do corporate training for a major equipment rental company here in the U.S., North America area. So that's kind of what I do now. What we're doing here in DoubleG's garage is just a lot of hobby, fun work. Like I said, I've got some friends that help out Chris. Shout out to Chris. Chris helps me out a lot. He's into VWs. We've known each other probably over 25 years, and we kind of reconnected here recently. But I built this garage about 2 years ago. At the time, pretty much today, Volkswagens have gotten, in my opinion, to be financially untouchable. You know, some of the cars that I had in the past, could never afford to buy them again. Wish I still had them. During that downtime when I wasn't restoring Volkswagens, I was building a lot of motorcycles. I would go I would go buy the motorcycle on Craigslist or the motorcycle on Facebook Marketplace that's been sitting in, grandpa's garage or barn for a number of years. Battery's dead, fuel's bad, maybe the carburetors are messed up. And I'd fix it, I'd put it back together, I'd service it, I'd put a set of tires on, I'd ride it for a season. And then what I'd do is I'd flip it the next season and usually make a little bit of profit off of it. And I'd go get something else to ride for the next season. And I did that for a number of years. But I always, my heart was always in restoring Volkswagens. I knew I wanted to get back into them, but like I said, the cost factor, I couldn't pretty much get back into them. So I'd gotten into MGs for a short period of time. Again, boy, British cars, British electrical. I didn't know a whole lot about them, even though I'm a pretty decent technician. I kind of jumped off pretty deep into the MGs. About 3 months after I jumped off into the MGs, I actually found the 69 convertible that I'll show you here in a minute. And I found it really out in the country in South Georgia for $1,000, and everything I can tell, it's an 83,000 mile original vehicle. So, cost-wise, it was a bargain in today's world. Very, very nice car. I started restoring it. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do pretty much everything pans. It's actually off the pan. Again, Kevin, thanks for your comment yesterday. I should have filmed what I did yesterday, but the convertible's been off the pan for a while, and I got sidetracked doing other projects, as I usually do. The ADD kicks in sometimes. But I actually have a Max Jacks in my garage, if you look at some of my videos, and I dropped the body back on the pan so I could get it out of the way, and Chris and I could do some brake work on my other vehicle, which is a 1964 sedan. Should have filmed it. I mean, that's what you guys want to see. My bad, should have filmed it and shown. I know everybody doesn't know how to work on the Volkswagens or any of the cars as well as maybe I do. Maybe you're just a pure hobbyist and you've never been a professional automotive technician. I should have recorded it. I should have shown you more. But again, we'll do better moving forward. But I put it back on the pan and got it out of the way, and actually used my Max Jacks for the first time to do some repair work. And we did, you can see another video, we did 4-wheel disc brakes on the 64. The 64 that I'm working on now, again, another bargain car. I picked it up. Kyle, if you're watching, give you a shout out down near Greenville, South Carolina area. I picked up this little 64 from him for $1,500. Pretty much with the idea of making a patina car out of it. It's kind of old. Not going to fix everything on it. Just going to get it roadworthy. But again, we'll try to do better on our videos. I know time-wise I'm about to run out on this one because I don't have enough followers yet to post a video more than about 15 minutes, so I apologize for that. This is going to be a straight video I'm going to put out there. Just a quick, again, background on me. I've had cars in magazines. If you go back and look, VW Trends, March of 1990, this issue right here. Go check it out. Like I said, we'll do better in the future, and we'll put some more content in here that, like Kevin said, hey man, add some personality in your videos. I'm like, cool man, we'll do it. So again, thanks for stopping by DoubleG's Garage. We'll get some more content in there, Volkswagen related and otherwise. And again, thanks for stopping by. If you like what you saw, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me. And yeah, Kevin, it's just nice to know somebody's actually out there watching. So again, thanks for your time, and we'll see you again next time.